जब लग गुरु मिले न साचा, तब लग गुरु करो 10 पांचा।
Can one change Guru? Is it a sin to changing a Guru? After all, who is the right Guru in this path of spirituality? Who is the Tattvadarshi saint mentioned in the Gita? To know the answer to all these questions, please listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi, Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
This is clear. Vishnu Ji is saying, I Vishnu, Brahma and Shankar, we take birth, avirbhav and die. Tero bhav, only you are eternal. You are the creator. This Durga is also called nature. Remember this. This will help you in Gita Ji, and you are Sanatani Devi. God Shankar said, Goddess, if the greatly fortunate Vishnu has taken birth from you, then Brahma, who was born after him, must also be your son only. And then I, Shankar, who does destruction duties, is also your child. That is, you only are my mother. Shive, you are very wise in the creation of the whole world. Pious souls, these scriptures are forests. We will take out herbs as we will require. We will prepare medicine, and what will we do of the rest of the forest? Look, the medicine is, your powers are always present in world's creation, preservation and destruction. Born of these three qualities, we, Rajguna Brahma, Satguna Vishnu, Tamguna Shankar, remain devoted to work according to the duties. Pious souls, this small description of pious Devi Puraan has cleared how many concepts? 5. Number 1, that Brahma, Vishnu and Shiv are mortal. Second, they take birth and they die. Third, Durga is their mother. Fourth, Durga is also called nature or Prakriti. And fifth, Rajgun is Brahma, Satgun is Vishnu and Tamgun is Shivji. And sixth, they can only provide as per destiny. Whatever is in the destiny, they can provide only that and cannot change anything. Neither can reduce nor increase. So these 5 concepts are clear, or call them 6, as Durga is their mother. They have birth and death. They are not immortal, means they have birth and death, so they are not eternal, therefore we count this as 1. These 5 concepts are clear in a small description. It's been 5500 years since these scriptures were written on paper. Until today, our religious leaders, these fake gurus, could not even tell ABC, they talk nonsense. Virtuous souls, you did not receive Satsang. What was the reason? Our religious teachers knew Sanskrit, but their spiritual knowledge was zero. They lacked true spiritual knowledge and are still deprived. Who are our religious teachers? Acharya, Shankaracharya and other saints. All these are our religious gurus. Virtuous souls, these ignorant saints have ruined the spiritual path, the spiritual practice and knowledge. You are seeing what question is being asked from them and what answer they are giving. The question being asked is in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse number 62. The knowledge giver of Gita is asking to go to the shelter of which other God other than self. Who is that God? And what answer is Maharaj Ji is giving? He is asking to go in the refuge of Satguru. Now this servant will tell. In verse number 62 of Gita chapter number 18, the knowledge giver of Gita tells to go in the refuge of which another God other than him. Please listen with proof. So virtuous souls,
गुण तीनों की भक्ति में ये भूल पड़ो संसारे, कह कबीर निज नाम बिना कैसे उतरो पार.
Nijna means without Satnam. How will you be liberated without the true mantra? Now, as it has been written in Gita Ji chapter 17, verse 23, Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshah brahmana trividah smritah. To attain the Satchidanand Ghan Brahm, one must practice these three mantras. In verse 13 of 8th chapter, the knowledge giver of Gita says that Om iti ekaksharam brahma vyahamran mam anusamran. Ye prayati tajam deham sayati pramam gatim. Of me, Brahma, there is only one word, Om. While chanting this till the last breath, the person who leaves the body attains the supreme state that possible only by Om. Mantra. Brahmalok will be attained with Om. Souls who attain Brahmalok also come back as per verse 16 of 8th chapter. They are in recurrence. So to attain Almighty, there are only three mantras to recite. Apart from this, whatever chant is done by abandoning what is mentioned in the scripture is wrong. Then he has left an option that the complete way of attaining that God, Paramakshar, Brahm, the complete way of worship, way of worshipping. An enlightened saint will tell, ask him, we don't have to worship. Worship is by considering someone as respected deity. Practice serving is something else. Now it was तीन देव की जो करते भक्ति उनकी कदे ना होवे मुक्ति. In Gita Ji chapter number 7 verses 16, 17 and 18. The knowledge giver of Gita, Brahma, tells about his spiritual followers who all worship him. Artharthi, Arth, Jigyasu, curious, and Gyani, learned. He rejects Artharthi, Arth, and the Jigyasu, that they also do not do correct worship, and selects the learned, that the knowledgeable soul is good. Learned is one who has known that only one God should be worshipped. It is written in Vedas that with the worship of true God, salvation can be attained. But they have forgotten that it was also written in Vedas that the way of worship of that complete God is not mentioned. In Vedas, an enlightened saint will tell that, but they concluded on their own. From Yajurved chapter 40 verse 15, they selected only Om mantra for complete God. Whereas in 17th verse of chapter 40 of Yajurved, Brahma himself says that my mantra is Om. Om is for Brahma, but he is invisible, that complete God is up there. They did not understand this because Guru bin kahu na paya gyana, jot hota bhus chade mood kisana. Guru bin ved pade jo prani, samjhe na sare rahe agyani. Due to which these learned souls got to know that arbitrary worship is not to be done, neither these three powers should be worshipped, Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shiv. They also gained knowledge that human birth is only to attain God. If in this God is not attained, worship is not done, then it is useless. They are called knowledgeable. Since they did not get an enlightened saint, the knowledge giver of Gita says in chapter 7 verse 18, these learned souls are good, are humble, but they are engrossed in my inferior worship. They are involved in my inferior devotion. Which worship? In chapter 8 verse 13 it is said that those who chant my Brahm's Om mantra and leave their body, go while chanting me, they attain all benefits from me. Which one? Benefits that is attained with Om, that is they go to Brahmalok. In chapter 8 verse 16 it is written, Gita Ji, that after attaining Brahmalok they come in birth and death cycle. Gita orator himself says in chapter 4 verse 5 and 9, in chapter 2 verse 12, chapter 10 verse 2 in Gita Ji that Arjun, you and I have had several births. You do not know, I know. Till their birth and that remains. Then in chapter 18 verse 62 it is said, you in every respect go to the refuge of that supreme God, by the grace of whom you will attain the supreme peace and the eternal abode. With His grace only. With this it is proved that there is some other supreme power other than this knowledge giver of Gita, with which complete salvation can be attained. In chapter 15 verse 4 it is said that after the attaining of an enlightened saint, one should search for God's supreme place, after attaining which soul does not return to this world. Worship only him and discard all others. He even rejects his own worship. Worship means believing as respected deity. Here someone asks from these ignorant, these incapables, that in Gita Ji chapter 7 verse 18, why do the knowledge giver of Gita tells his worship to be inferior? They say, do not consider its meaning inferior, rather consider it the best, from which no other thing is superior. When attained, after that nothing else remains to be known. Therefore, that is the inferior state. They are fooling us. If apart from this there was no better way of worship, if we agree to them, then why in chapter 18 verse number 62 he is saying, go in his refuge, in every respect go in the refuge of that God, with whose grace you will attain eternal peace. In chapter 8 verse 5 and 7 the knowledge giver of Gita tells us, worship me, you will attain me. And in 8, 9, 10 he tells to worship that complete God. He tells about the worship of complete God for that such an enlightened saint. This is told in chapter 4 verse 34. These foolish do not know ABC of Gita Ji. Is it anywhere in Gita Ji these mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Radhe Shyam, Sita Ram, Om Namah Shivaya? Is there any mantra like this? They are fooling us for so many days. Therefore, knowledge giver of Gita has said, engrossed in my worship, these learned souls remain in inferior state. Why is inferior? As birth and death continues again and again. That is inferior. But reaching eternal place, no one comes back. That can never be attained with the worship of Brahma. These learned souls did Hatha Yoga, chanted Om Mantra, read from Vedas. They did not do arbitrary worship, did not worship any other deity. Brahma Ji, when he was sitting on the lotus flower, he became conscious. He was kept unconscious and kept in coma. He was brought to consciousness on lotus flower. Brahma Ji says, I do not know from where I have come. Then he did an announcement, this Kaal, that meditate, do austerity. He thought this ether voice is of the complete God, but Kaal did that. Then Brahma Ji got the Vedas. Nowhere it was written in Vedas to do Hatha Yoga penance because of this folklore of Brahma, that I have had an announcement to do austerity. They started doing Hatha Yoga. They took Om Mantra from Vedas, continued with useless worship for thousands of years. In Gita Ji chapter 11 verse 47-48 he says, Arjun, this form of me which you have seen, this original form of me, no one has seen before you. I have not been attained by anyone. And the attainment of this form of me cannot be done with any method mentioned in Vedas, neither by any worship or by any activity. No one can attain, hence proved with the procedure mentioned in Vedas, with Om Mantra and whatever practice they perform by sacrificing, they do not attain God but get some other benefits. Those sages got those benefits. They gained powers. They acted as superiors over each other. They brought someone to ashes, cursed someone, due to which they were feared. There was a sage named Chunak. He was like that. That learned soul was humble. For thousands of years he chanted Om and did worship, folklore, Hatha Yoga, which is rejected in Gita Ji chapter number 17 verse number 6 by abandoning worship based on holy scriptures. Those who perform arbitrary worship, do austerity, those demons even trouble deities within this body, who also trouble me, Brahm, consider them to be of demonic nature. Look, even they are told to be bad, those learned souls. Why? That sage Chunak performed austerity. God was not attained. He gained powers. He became an atom bomb. There was a renowned king of the world. One who has rule on whole planet is called King of World. Now these kings of the world wanted to check if those rulers who are under my subjection, the kings and small rulers, has any of them rejected my lordship, my subjection. Therefore, they leave a horse for performing this check. Along with the horse, some soldiers are also sent. It is king's personal horse, his own horse. They hang a pamphlet in his neck that the renowned king has this much army, 72 crore soldiers. And whichever king
Hello, I'm Neha Sharma and you're watching our special program Spiritual Discussion. Let us begin the program and know the thoughts of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj from Satlok Ashram Barwala, District Hisar, Haryana versus the thoughts of the Chief of Hansa Desh Panth, Sant Shri Satpal Ji Maharaj from Punjabi Bagh, Delhi. It is said that Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh are the creators of the whole creation. But who are their mother-father? Tell us about this.
They are the mother father of everyone. Finally, you will do brainstorming about a power that does not have a mother father. He is primordial. You must have seen Lord Vishnu recline on a serpent bed. What is the meaning of Sheshaya? The coil of snakes is called Sheshaya. Sheshnag Ji has rapped. The meaning is that our potential energy, are you understanding? There is a kinetic energy and there is a potential energy. Lord Vishnu is lying on that energy. A lotus emerges from the navel of Lord Vishnu, from which Brahma Ji appears. In this way, our Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Brahma Ji is the one who created the world. Lord Vishnu nourish and Shiva destroys. If you see all three through science, so this is an anabolic process. One is the catabolic process and one is the metabolism. This process is also happening within us. The cells is developing within us. The cells are being maintained and then the cells are being destroyed. If the cells wouldn't destroy, then we will not get old. We would not achieve an old age. These three processes of the world are going continuously. You must have seen that children are also being born. Also people are being maintained and people are cremated inside the crematorium. So this process is going on. So this process is called Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh.
Is Lord Vishnu immortal or does he also take birth? Or does he ever die?
The energy, you must have heard the science formula that energy can neither be created nor it can be destroyed. That power is never generated and the power called as energy mass equation. So Vishnu, Brahma and Mahesh are the primordial powers that produce the world, maintain the world and destroy the world. All these three factors, this energy is primordial. It has no beginning. This was always there. You must have also seen that whenever a volcano erupts somewhere and everything ends there also you will find life somewhere. You will find life somewhere in the foothill below the sea, thousands of feet below, where there is no light at all. And these scientists imagine that there would be no life here. There also is a fish that is born without sunlight. There is a life too. The purpose of saying is that if scientists will research, then I understand they will find that there is life elsewhere. So if there is life, then this phenomena of creation, sustenance, destruction will be there. And these three are inherent. These three things have been going on since time immemorial.
Maharaj Ji, are Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh immortal, imperishable?
I told you when you have talked about creation, then creation will continue to be created. It will continue to sustain and will end. This is the eternal phenomenon.
Do they have lifespan, Maharaj Ji?
They do not have a lifespan. They are eternal. I told you before.
You just heard the views of the head of Hansa Desh Panth, Sant Shri Satpal Ji Maharaj from Punjabi Bagh, Delhi. Let us know the views of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj from Satlok Ashram Barwala, District Hisar, Haryana.
सतगुरुदेव की जय। बंदी छोड़ कबीर परमेश्वर जी की जय। बंदी छोड़ गरीबदास जी महाराज जी की जय। स्वामी राम देवानंद जी गुरु महाराज जी की जय हो। गरीब नमो नमो सतपुरुष को नमस्कार। गुरु के नहीं सुर नर मुनि जन साधुओं संतों सर्वसदी नहीं। सतगुरु साहेब संत सब दंडोतम प्रणाम, आगे पीछे मध्य हुए तिनको जा कुर्बान।
Shri Satpal Ji Maharaj Ji was asked whether Shri Brahma Ji, Shri Vishnu Ji and Shri Shiv Ji also have mother and father. He says no, they are omnipotent, they are the father of all, they do not have parents. And they also consider Puranas to be true. Now see what our Puranas tell. Who is the mother father of Shri Brahma, Shri Vishnu and Shri Shiv Ji? Hans mantra is nowhere mentioned in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is not mentioned anywhere in the Vedas that with this mantra soul can attain salvation. They have been fooling us for so long. Therefore, knowledge giver of Gita has said engrossed in my worship, these learned souls remain in inferior state. Why is inferior? As birth and death continues again and again, that is inferior. But reaching eternal place, no one comes back. That can never be attained with the worship of Brahm. These learned souls did Hatha Yoga, chanted Om Mantra. They did not do arbitrary worship, did not worship any other deity. Brahma Ji, when he was sitting on the lotus flower, he became conscious, he was kept unconscious and kept in coma, he was brought to consciousness on lotus flower. Brahma Ji says, I do not know from where I have come. Then he did an announcement, this Kaal, that meditate, do austerity. He thought this ether voice is of the complete God, but Kaal did that. Then Brahma Ji got the Vedas. Nowhere it was written in Vedas to do Hatha Yoga penance because of this folklore of Brahma. That I have had an announcement to do austerity, they started doing Hatha Yoga. They took Om Mantra from Vedas, continued with useless worship for thousands of years. Gita Ji chapter number 11 verse 47-48 he says, Arjun, this form of me which you have seen, this original form of me, no one has seen before you. I have not been attained by anyone. And the attainment of this form of me cannot be done with any method mentioned in Vedas, neither by worship or by any activity. No one can attain me. Hence proof, with the procedure mentioned in Vedas, with Om Mantra and whatever practice they perform, by sacrificing, they do not attain God but get some other benefits. Those sages got those benefits, they gained powers, they acted as superiors over each other, they brought someone to ashes, cursed someone, due to which they were feared. There was a sage named Chunak. He was like that. That learned soul was humble. For thousands of years he chanted Om and did worship, folklore, Hatha Yoga, which is rejected in Gita Ji chapter 17 verse 6 by abandoning worship based on holy scriptures. Those who perform arbitrary worship, do austerity, those demons even trouble deities within this body, who also trouble me, Brahm, consider them to be of demonic nature. Look, even they are told to be bad. Those learned souls, why? That sage Chunak performed austerity. God was not attained. He gained powers. He became an atom bomb. There was a renowned king of the world, one who has rule on whole planet, is called King of World. Now these kings of the world wanted to check if those rulers who are under my subjection, the kings and small rulers, has any of them rejected my lordship, my subjection. Therefore, they leave a horse for performing this check. Along with the horse, some soldiers are also sent. It is king's personal horse, his own horse. They hang a pamphlet in his neck that the renowned king has this much army, 72 crore soldiers, and whichever ruler does not accept the rule of the king can hold the horse, can tie it and get ready for a war. That horse wandered the whole earth. All read the pamphlet that king has 72 crore soldiers, all were quiet, no one dared to tie the horse, that is, to fight a battle. So he has been proved to be victorious on whole earth. While they were returning Chunak sage used to do worship there. They had passed from near his cottage. They were returning from there. He asked soldiers, "Why is this horse empty? Why is there no rider on this? On rest you all are riding." Soldiers told saint that this horse is of the king of the world. No one can sit on it. "And where had you gone?" asked the sage. They said, "We had a tour of whole earth. So and so was our purpose." The sage asked, "Did no one accept war with this king? Is he so powerful?" Then the soldiers said, "Our king has an army of 72 crore soldiers, Saint Ji. How can anyone dare? We will destroy him." Now the sage thought, his mind is under the control of Kaal or Satan. He makes them atom bomb through worship, by wrong practice, by making them do arbitrary practices on other side. Kaal had his remote. He inspired the sage that the king has become so egoist, his arrogance needs to be fixed. The sage stood up and said, "Brother, I hold this horse and accept war with your king." The soldiers said, "You poor, you do not have grains to eat, and you will fight with the king of the world. You sit and you do your worship. Do not mess, recite your prayers, do whatever you are doing." And then the sage said, "I have held this horse. Go and tell your king." They were anyways ready. They tied the horse with the tree near his hut. They came and told the king that no one on earth caught your horse but a sage named Chunak accepted your war. The king was told by his counselors that today one person has dared, tomorrow another will stand. This is all politics. In this way the world will raise their head. He should be crushed. The king said, "Go." 18 crore soldiers were sent at once to kill one man so that others may also be scared. They may fear that so much force has come to show he is a powerful king. On the other side, whatever worship that sage had done in his entire life, he made 4 atom bombs with his spiritual powers, with his accomplishments. Spiritual powers are big bombs. These scientists fail in front of these. If a saint has spiritual word power, he may fail all of them. He can crush anyone in front of him. Now the sage made 4 atom bombs with his accomplishments, with the power of his useless worship that he had gained. All through his life, he fired 1 bomb and he massacred 18 crore army, destroyed them. The king sent the second unit of 18 crore. The sage fired the second bomb. 72 crore army of the king of the world was destroyed. About it is told in Suksham Ved that 72 रक्षोणी खा गया ये चुणक ऋषीश्वर एक, दे डारे जोरा फिरे ये सभी काल के भेख. Oh God, Kabir Sahib, liberator. God came and told that he destroyed 72 crore army. Who? That sage of sages, Rishishwar, supreme amongst the sages. These are the qualities of great sage. These fake sages, we call them sage, they should be called demons. Tell what was the need for the sage to mess. He should do his worship, the king should do his work, let him do. These has such demonic nature as such people. Therefore, the knowledge giver of Gita says, my worship is also not superior, it is inferior. Such misdeeds they perform later. After Kaal's worship, now what has God told Kabir Sahib? That 72 crore army was destroyed. He massacred this Chunak sage. Ye de dhare maut phire hai. Jora means death. And you call them sage. These are moving bombs. If they are teased a bit, they may destroy you. Is this what a saint does? God Kabir had come, the divine, with stones, pebbles were thrown at him, was put in boiling mustard oil, cut into pieces, but Almighty was found alive and he never cursed anyone. These are great saints. Bestowed with all great qualities as Kabir God, he was completely knowledgeable. He was the teacher of the world and gave true spiritual knowledge. He was true enlightened saint. He was well informed and he's God. It is said, 72 akshoni kha gaya wo chunak rishi shwar ek, ye de dhare jora. Jora means death. These sages in human body, maut phire, all these are agents of Kaal. They worship Brahm. Bhek means whole group. Then what will happen to him? The sage who chanted Om name and did penance with Hatha Yoga tenacity, one gets powers. By chanting Om name, Brahmalok is attained. He will go to Brahmalok. He will become a deity there. After his good deeds end, he will come to earth. He will become a king. After becoming a ruler, as a hunter, he will kill, do violence on creatures. He will fight with others, meaning he will ruin his deeds. Then where will he be sent? He will be thrown into hell. After suffering in hell, he will again come on earth. Then he will become a dog. This sage Chunak, and he will have bugs in his head, wounds, and all those creatures he killed of that king, they will eat his body. Therefore, the knowledge giver of Gita in chapter 7 verse 18 says that learned souls are humble. They started to achieve God, but because they did not get enlightened saint, they based on self-conclusion through stories told by people. They became dedicated on me. Brahm tells this Kaal, and they remain trapped in my inferior worship. That is all you get from me, from this Om mantra, from my worship, benefits which were to be received by chanting Om name. Till that level only they will get benefits. And that is inferior benefit, inferior, cheap. What's worse than this? All throughout life, you practiced useless path and then became an atom bomb. An acacia tree in place of mango tree. Saints should be the mango tree. Those who throw stones at them, they even give fruit to them, and these acacia trees, if touched, they may attack like a wasp. We used to call them sage. God opened our eyes. Therefore it is said, they are virtuous souls, but are engrossed in my inferior, worst way of worship. Why? Because they did not get an enlightened saint. Therefore, in chapter 18, verse 62, it is said, Arjun, you in every respect go in the refuge of only that Supreme God. By the grace of that Supreme God, you will attain supreme peace and will attain eternal abode. Virtuous souls, 600 years ago, God had said that who worship these three gods can never attain salvation. Today, all these holy scriptures support this. Kabir is God. Kabir is God. Gita Ji, chapter 8, verse number 1. Arjun asked that. In chapter 7, verse 29, it was told that knowing Tat Brahm and becoming familiar with entire spirituality and all deeds, a person makes efforts to get relieved from birth and death. Jara means old age and Maran means death. So in chapter 8, verse 1, it is asked, who is that Tat Brahm? Look at this. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 7, verse number 29. Here, only Sanskrit is there. Further is its explanation. Jara Maran Mokshai. Jara means old age, Maran means death. Moksh means to get salvation. Mam ashrita yatanti ye. Te Brahm tat vidhu kisnam adhyatam karm cha akhilam. Its meaning is, Mam ahrita. As I have told you, whoever will be dependent on this knowledge, searches to enlightened saint, they only make efforts to get rid of illness, of old age and death. For salvation, yatanti te. They know Tat Brahm. They know the entire spiritual knowledge and are familiar with all deeds. Those who only make efforts to get rid of old age and death, they are familiar with the Tat Brahm, entire spiritual knowledge and from all deeds. Look, chapter 7, verse 29, we are reading of Gita Ji. Who remains dependent on me means who is in my refuge. Jara means old age, Maran means death. They make efforts to get rid of these, attain that God and complete spirituality. See this, Tat Brahm, they know that God, entire spirituality and all the deeds. Chapter 8 begins here. It's the first verse of chapter 8. In this, it is asked, who is Tat Brahm? Regarding the Tat Brahm, it is said, Tat Brahm, that Brahm which knows the entire spirituality and all deeds. Here they have asked in chapter 8, first verse, Kim Tat Brahm, Kim Adhyatam, Ki Karam Purushottam, Kim Adhibhut Cha, Kim Proktam, Adhidevam, Kim Uchyate. Its answer is in chapter 8, third verse. Who is that God? This question is asked by Arjun. Its answer is given in chapter 8, verse 3. This is chapter 8, verse 3. This is Paramakshar Brahm. In verse 3, this is the answer. By souls. Now we come to Gita Ji chapter number 15, verse number 16 and 17. With this, the entire concept that this slave wanted to clear will be clear. Look, this is chapter 15, Gita chapter number 15. And here this is verse 16. In this, two gods are told. Divyam, Imau Purushau, two Purush, two gods, two masters. One is Kshar and one is Akshar. Call him Kshar Purush, or we call these Purush as Kshar Purush and Akshar Purush. Here we will see their translation in this world. Mortal and immortal are two types of Purush, means God. Purush means master. God they are called. And all creatures' body is mortal and the souls is said to be immortal. Its meaning is that one Kshar Purush is this Brahm, Akshar Purush is this Parabrahm. This Kshar Purush, Brahm, is the owner of 21 universes and Akshar Purush of 700 quadrillion universes. Both these and all creatures under them are all mortals, but the soul of all does not die. That subject is different. Now this is made clear that both are mortal, Kshar Purush as well as Akshar Purush, no matter if Akshar means immortal, but he has a defined long life due to which he is called Akshar Purush, but in reality he is not immortal. Its concept is made clear in chapter 15 verse 17 that Uttam Purusha tu anya or Paramatma iti udharte. Look, chapter 15, now we have read 16th, we will read 17th. Uttam Purusha tu anya Paramatma iti udharte. Yeh lok triyam avishya vibharti avyay Ishwara. Superior God means supreme God is someone else apart from these two. Two gods are told in 16th and he is another. And who enters all three regions and nurtures everyone, the immortal supreme being. Almighty God, he is told like this. This is upside down hanging ball like tree. This has roots above, below are the three qualities like branches. With roots only the whole tree gets nourishment. By entering all three regions, this original form divine Paramakshar Brahm does their nourishment, nurtures the whole world. This is a world-like tree. World-like tree, its origin is Paramakshar Brahm. Look, this is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 15, verse number 17th. We are reading. Uttam Purusha tu anya Paramatma iti udharte. Uttam Purush means Supreme God. The Almighty is someone else apart from these two above, different from both. In 16th, it is explained separately and he is called God. Yeh lok triyam avishya vibharti, who nurtures everyone by entering all three regions. He in reality is the eternal God. He is the immortal God. See this, Uttam Purush means Purushottam, true God, is some other who is by entering all three regions nurtures everyone. He is the immortal God in reality. By souls, what this servant wants to conclude is revealed. Gita Ji has made it clear that the knowledge giver of Gita is Brahma. His mantra is Om. His seeker attains Brahmalok. Creature attaining Brahmalok are in recurrence that is not complete salvation. Gita orator in chapter 18 verse 62 and Gita chapter number 15 verse 1 to 4 and in chapter 18 verse 62 and 66. In these verses, he is clarifying that God should be worshipped, that Paramakshar Brahm, about whom in chapter 8 verse 3 it is said that he should be worshipped. With his worship the creature never comes back in this world. God's ultimate abode is attained. And Gita Ji chapter number 18 verse number 62 it is said that by all means you go in the refuge of that God. With his grace only you will attain eternal peace, and ultimate abode means again birth and death will never happen. About himself he has made clear that your and my birth and death will remain forever by souls until these scriptures are familiar. Till then we do not believe because our tongue was burnt with hot milk. Therefore we even drink buttermilk carefully. The servant wants that I shall make you so strong that after seeing these scriptures you become sure, and you will discard those fake gurus, acharyas and shankaracharyas, and will get your well-being done. Look, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8, verse number 3. This is clear that he is Paramakshar Brahm. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 15, verse number 1 to 4 and 16, 17, this is made clear. Akshar Purush is its trunk, Shar Purush is its branch. These three qualities, Rajgun Brahma, Satgun Vishnu, Tamgun Shivji, are the branches of the world-like tree. And this is also clear that one who nurtures everyone is the immortal God. Paramakshar Purush is Paramakshar Brahma. In Gita chapter number 8 verse number 5 and 7, knowledge giver of Gita says regarding his worship that to worship me, the mantra is Om, nothing else, which has been told in chapter 8 verse 13. If my worship is to be done, then Om is the mantra. And you will attain me, but you need to fight. If you want to attain Paramakshar Brahm, if you want to worship him, then his mantra is told in chapter 17, 23 verse, Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshah Brahmana trivadaya smritah. Brahmana means to attain that Paramakshar Brahm. For his worship, only chant these three mantra, Om Tat Sat. Worshipping him by three mantras is the instruction, direction. Direction means final, command, nothing else. In chapter 8 verse 8, 9, 10 it is said that with his worship you will attain Paramakshar Brahm. With his worship the creature goes there, going where the creature never comes back. And these our Acharya, Shankaracharya, these creatures who are devoid of true spiritual knowledge, these Mandaleshwars are religious leaders. They say that Sri Krishna Ji is telling about his own self. In this, the concept is made clear that there are two gods. In fact, three are told, but two have an important role because we are living in Akshar Purusha's region and we have to go to Akshar Brahm's region. But in between there is one interference. This Akshar Purush, we have to cross his 700 quadrillion universes. For that, Om is the direct mantra of Brahm, Tat is indicative of Akshar Purush, and Sat is also indicative mantra of Paramakshar Purush, Paramakshar Brahma. Practicing these three mantras, after attaining complete salvation, we will go to that region, going where the seeker never comes back. This is the outcome of this complete Srimad Bhagavad Gita in front of you. Let me show you some reference. Look, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 8. We have read till here that he is Paramakshar Brahm. In verse 3, he is Paramakshar Brahm, who is other than the Gita narrator. Here the knowledge giver of Gita says in chapter 8, verse 5, that the man who remembers me till his last breath and leaves the body, he attains to my form, not the personal form. Madbhavam yati, he receives all benefits from me. There is no doubt in this. Now what is said in 7th verse, chapter 8 of Gita Ji. In 7th, what is said, therefore Arjun, you remember me all the time and also fight. You have to fight if you want to remain in my refuge. Contained in me, dedicated with complete mind, undoubtedly you will attain me. Now in 8th and 9th, this is made clear. Gita chapter number 8, verse number 8, we are reading, O Parth, this is the rule by worshipping to attain God, one who chants those 3 mantras and does not deviate and continues worshipping, that man, Param Divyam Purushyati, is attained to that Paramakshar Brahma. Param Prakash Roop Divyam. To divine means is attained to God only, who is other than knowledge giver of Gita. In 9th, in this concept is also made clear, Kavyam. Here we will not disturb this, we will read as is. The God, who is everlasting, omnipresent, omnipotent, means Lord of the Lords, subtlest of the subtle, sustainer of all, in unimaginable form. Highly radiant form like sun means illuminating body like the sun is in the form. This is clear in this. Is far from ignorance, worship that Sachidanand Ghan Brahma, worship that Paramakshar Brahma. Now, 9th verse you have read of chapter 8, now we will read the 10th. That devotee means who chants those 3 mantras in which Om is one and 2 words Tat Sat are indicative. That devotee in the end, with the power of devotion, Yog means worship, with the devotional strength, focusing in the middle of the eyebrow by establishing a connection with pure mind, remembers that divine and is attained to that divine form. Supreme God means he is other than the knowledge giver of Gita, that Paramakshar Brahma. His worshipper attains him by souls. Before reaching Trikuti, we will give the devotional earnings from the other mantras here to them. Further, when we will reach to Trikuti with us, this 2-word mantra we have, that is Satnam. In this one is Om mantra, this devotional earning of Om mantra is of Brahma, and this earning we will give to this Kaal, to Brahm. Srimad Bhagavad in Gita chapter number 18, verse number 62, the knowledge giver of Gita says, Arjun, by all means you go in the refuge of that God. With his grace only you will attain eternal peace and ultimate abode. For that he has left an option and told that I do not know about him. Search for an enlightened saint. In chapter 18 verse 63 it is said that I have given the most confidential knowledge to you. I have told you the most confidential knowledge, that if you are to remain in my refuge, then you have to fight. In chapter 8, verse 5 and 7, if you will remember me, you will be received by me. In Gita Ji chapter number 8, verse 8, 9, 10, if you will worship that Paramakshar Brahma, then you will attain him. In Gita Ji chapter number 17, verse number 23, the mantras to worship that Paramakshar Brahm is told. His mantra is Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaya brahmana trividaya smritah. You can worship him by chanting 3 mantras, which an enlightened saint will tell you. I do not know. Knowledge giver of Gita told his own mantra in chapter 8, verse number 13. Om iti ekaksharam brahm vyaharan mam anusamran yeh prayati tajam deham sayati paramam gatim. Om is my Brahma mantra. One who chants this till his last breath and leaves the body obtains benefits of Om level. What is of Om level? Brahmalok. Souls attaining Brahmalok are in recurrence, they have birth and death. So here chanting Om independently has another benefit. If this is chanted adding both, it has another benefit. If verbally this will be chanted, it will have another benefit. Through breath, if that is chanted, it has another benefit. So when we will reach to Trikuti, we will give the devotional earnings of Om mantra to him. Earlier, what we continue doing by chanting Om mantra, we used to go to Brahmalok and lived there for 1,000 eras, used to waste our devotional earnings and then became a donkey and wandered here. Because of those sins, we remained in suffering. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18, verse number 62 to 66, a decisive knowledge has emerged. It is complete summary of pious Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The knowledge giver of Gita says, if you have to remain in my refuge, then bow to me. In chapter 18, verse 65, keep your mind in me and worship me, you will attain me. In chapter 18, verse 66, it is said that Arjun, by all means, Sarva dharman parataj mam ekam saranam vraj. I will show you. Pious souls, here what the servant is trying to clear is how salvation will be attained. This is compulsory. How will we be liberated, and which all great souls chanted this mantra? To respected Dharamdas Ji, God himself gave this mantra of 2 words and kept the final mantra secret, that I am giving it to you, but this has not to be disclosed. He gave it to these great men, but they further did not disclose to anyone. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 18, verse number 66, there is one Vraj word. Our religious leaders, sages, acharyas, shankracharyas, saints have made this meaning wrong. They have twisted it. Vraj means go. Go means to depart. This is English word. If its meaning is done as come, then is it sensible? Use whatever grammar to justify that. They did not understand the sentence. Look what is the meaning of that. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, published from Gita Press Gorakhpur, Jai Dayal Goenka is its translator. I will show you chapter 18 verse 66. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 66. What is written in this? Sarva dharmam paritajamam ekam saranam vraj. Aham tva sarve papebhya mokshami ma shuch. What have they translated of the complete philosophy, that is complete obligation, sacrifice all deeds to me, abandon philosophy to me, you only in me. Mam meaning what have they written? In me all powerful, omnipotent, divine's refuge. Sharanam means in refuge. Vraj means come, whereas Vraj means go. I will relieve you of all sins. Do not get upset, pious souls. First, Vraj meaning is to come or to go. This concept needs to be clear. First, let us complete the context, that is, Om Mantra earning we will give to Kaal at Trikuti. There you will have your account. God Kabir Ji will be available there. In this servant's form, you will go running towards your Guruji. God will take you to Dharamraj's court to clear your account. This Om Mantra will be given, rest will be left. So the second mantra, which is part of Satnam along with Om, is mantra of Parabrahm of Akshar Purush. After Kaal's 21 universes, we must cross 700 quadrillion universes. Look, this is the picture of one universe. This is a miniature picture of one universe. This is an elliptical shape. This is the picture of one universe. What is there inside this? Below these 7 Atal, Vital, etc. Here this is Earth. This is the region of Shiv. This is the region of Brahma Ji. This is the region of Brahma Ji. This is the region of Vishnu Ji. After this, it is the region of Dharmaraj. This is common heaven. This is called Indralok, and this is that Brahmalok. Indralok, and this is that Brahmalok. This is that Brahmalok. Here he resides secretly, this Kaal. He has made 3 regions separately. Secretly, here he keeps his wife Durga in 3 places separately. He creates 3 sons. Now the point which we have to take, we will see here. This is one universe. Like this, Kaal has 21 universes. Look, these are Jyoti Niranjan's 21 universes. The whole picture, see this. In this, what has he done? This ball, consider this is one universe. This is a universe. Like this, one group he has made of 5 universes. This is called a great universe. Great universe. Like this, in 4 great universes, he has locked 20 universes. They keep revolving separately. They themselves also keep rotating. Regions inside them also keep rotating. This one region is separate, secret. Here, a duplicate Satlok, duplicate Alakhlok, duplicate Agamlok, duplicate Akhaylok, Anamilok he has created. In the same way, he, in every universe, that was his 21st universes. In this one universe, see, this is Brahmalok, great Indra's island. Then duplicate Satlok, duplicate Alakhlok, duplicate Agamlok, duplicate Anamilok he has created. He deceives creatures through Durga, Maya, Shakti. Now, These are 21 universes of Kaal, and this is the way, the path to exit. Look, this is one universe. Till now, 10 doors were told that 10th door. This is the 10th door of one universe.
Come, let us know the experiences of those devotees who have received initiation from Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji and are following the devotional path told by him.
Hello, sir.
Sat Ji.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Krishna Das.
Krishna ji, where are you from?
I am from Baloda Bazar, Chhattisgarh.
Krishna ji, when did you take initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
I have taken initiation from Bandi Chod Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj on 12th October 2020.
What devotional practice you used to do before taking name initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
I was a devotee of Hanuman Ji, the revered lord of Hinduism, and used to recite Hanuman Chalis every day.
Then how did you come under the refuge of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
There's a disciple, Ashutosh Banjara Ji, who used to consume alcohol before coming under the refuge of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. I came to know that after taking initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, he has completely abandoned the habit of intoxication. So after being inspired from him, I also took the name initiation.
After taking initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, did you get any benefit?
I've got many benefits, but one benefit has made a major change in my life. 2 to 3 years ago, I used to drink a lot of alcohol. I also used to drink beer. I used to drink 8 to 10 bottles of beer throughout the day, and after leaving that, I started drinking wine. Then I started drinking 10 to 12 quarter bottles of alcohol in 24 hours. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, due to which I could not even sleep. After coming from duty, I was not able to sleep at night, and even if I fell asleep, then I used to get up again at midnight. I used to keep alcohol with me. After drinking alcohol again, then I used to sleep again. I had to get up at 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning again. In this way, I could not sleep properly. When I took initiation from Bandi Chod Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, I completely abandoned alcohol or other intoxication. Earlier, I used to consume meat and fish. I've completely abandoned that too, and I'm very happy now. I used to have mental problems earlier. Due to lack of sleep, I used to feel tensed at all times. I used to get angry at anyone, but now I've overcome all those problems and I've become better. I'm doing true devotion and doing good in my life. This is the biggest miracle for me.
Sir, after taking initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj Ji, you got many benefits. You are a head constable in Chhattisgarh Police. You said that you used to drink a lot and couldn't sleep. And after drinking at midnight, then only you fell asleep. So how is this possible, sir? People are not able to give up on their intoxication anywhere and try a lot. But as soon as they come under the refuge of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, their intoxication ends. How is this possible?
The discourse or knowledge that Bandi Chod Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj gives and the mantras he preaches are the real mantras of the Supreme God and other deities. That mantra was not received by us till date because Bandi Chod Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj is the God himself. He is an incarnation of God himself, which we were not able to understand. And this is the benefit of chanting true mantras by taking the name initiation from Supreme God, that the habit of intoxication has ended completely. I have realized many times that God is incarnated in the form of Sadguru Rampal Ji Maharaj to give us liberation from captivity.
How can one take initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj?
To take initiation from Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, one can contact the numbers which are displayed below the discourse or satsang that comes on different TV channels. If one calls on the displayed numbers, he or she can contact the nearest name initiation center and they will get free initiation.
Thank you, sir.
Sat Sahib Ji.
You were listening to the auspicious discourses of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj. For more details, visit our website www.jagatgururampalji.org. With the blessings of Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, there are more than 500 Nam Diksha centers all over the world where free online initiation is being given. To know about your nearest Nam Diksha center, please contact 8222 880541.